Okay, welcome. I'll call the meeting to order. This is a meeting of the City of New Ulm, the Park and Rec Commission special meeting. Today is Wednesday, February 17th, 2021, and I am Carissa Bugler. I'm the vice chair serving as chair tonight. Just a first order of business is just a public notice that this meeting is being conducted by teleconference, and the public notice has been made. Let's move on to roll call. Commissioner Bastian, we'll start with you.
Jim Bastian.
Dave Christian, Ward 1 City Councilor.
Roy Floor.
Laura Evans.
And Chris Warwick.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you to all for attending today. I don't think we have anyone on the phone today, attending by phone. We'll move into the approval of the agenda. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. Next is the minutes were presented and are available for your review. I'll be looking for a motion to approve the minutes from the February 8th meeting. We have a motion and we have a second. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has carried. And moving on to our hot topic of the day, old business, our neighborhood park establishment and development criteria. You have before you the final version for discussion tonight and hopeful after discussion approval of the criteria that will be used moving forward to help the Park and Rec Commission and the City Council determine which neighborhoods would be our next priority to place a playground and a park. Commissioner Vorwerk, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, so on the screen here, we have the matrix that we've been developing over several work sessions here. And now this version includes all the changes that we agreed upon in our last work session. And I'll just kind of go through making sure everything is what everybody agreed to here. So we have the objective criteria is the main section here, and we've got, is the general park location denoted in the comprehensive plan. We weighted that as a 2. Number of household units in the area and number of future household units to be added in the area. We weighted that 8 and 4 respectively. Distance to the area of the nearest developed park was 7. Elevation difference from the center of the area to nearest developed park, we weighted that at 5. Safety level, we weighted that a 9, rather high. Proximity to utilities, 2. Private funding for park development, a 7. And then now health factors, the final category here, used to be part of the subjective. That was agreed upon to move that into the objective, and we're going to get the data to fill that out from
The medical center.
Medical Center. Yep. Yeah. So that is the objective criteria. One field that was in there that we agreed to take out was, I'm drawing a blank here now. We pulled one out. I'll have to look back. There's one field that we removed under objective.
I think it was in North Highland.
No, there was actually a category.
Category.
Yeah, and now I'm drawing a blank on what that is. So then moving to the subjective criteria, that originally had the health factors and then socioeconomic factors. We removed the socioeconomic, moved the health up to objective, and then we came up with a new criteria that is kind of just a one where we can put in special cases if there's a extenuating circumstance that would make an area that isn't covered by any of the other criteria. But if we use that, then that involves having to explain out what the reasoning for that is. So I don't at this point see us putting anything in there possibly for this round, but we may. And then the last section is the land questions. The first two, or well, the first one is does it does the city own appropriate land? That's weighted very high. And if you answer yes to that, the only question you answer then in this rate is it designated as parkland? So these two would basically go together if it's a yes. If you go down the no path, then it's these 5 questions here. Is there appropriate land available? Is there city funding, private funding for land acquisition? Is there any land for sale? And are there other non-park uses? All those, we lowered the weightings to all be 3, except for funding available, we had at 0. And is that sit with everyone that we were gonna keep it at, or were we going to totally remove that criteria? I wasn't sure on that. I didn't quite get that out of the previous minutes, so I don't know what the thought is on that.
In the final version that we received, that is not on here.
You had pulled that out?
Yes,
because it's a
yes,
0.
I think,
Okay.
since it's a 0, we might remove that.
We'll remove that then, yeah, okay. Then, these last 2 questions then apply whether you answer yes or no. Is land for park use of adequate size, 4 to 10 acres, weighted to 3, and cost to level or prepare, relative cost, that's as a 5. So one question that I had going back to the subjective
Chris, may I
I'm sorry.
interrupt you? I apologize. On the final version that we received in the packet, actually, the cost to level or prepare the parkland is weighted at a 3, not a 5.
Okay. That was probably just an error, because I think everything was supposed to go to a
Yeah.
3. Yep, sorry about that. Any other discrepancies that you're finding? Okay. So back to the subjective criteria, or not subjective, to the health factors. I didn't remember what answers we wanted to have, the potential answers. Were we just gonna use high, medium, low? Again, is that what we decided? I
You
couldn't
know,
remember.
what the data will tell us is where there's high concentrations of chronic illness.
Okay,
In that area. So I think high, medium, low seems like an appropriate weighting or scale.
okay. So that was the only question I had. Otherwise, everything except for the one little correction on the weighting should reflect everything that was come out of the last work session.
I have a question. What was the item that was removed that you just mentioned?
Off of the objective?
If there's city money available for land acquisition.
It's under
Yeah,
the
okay.
land,
Yep.
yeah,
Oh,
under the land section.
the one that's
The
0
one
here.
that's
Is there
0.
city funding
Yep,
available?
it's not
Yep.
on the final
Yeah.
version. Any questions for Chris on the final criteria? Ask one more time. Any questions for Chris on the criteria? Otherwise, we'll be looking, there's no discussion. We'll be looking for a motion to approve the criteria as presented.
I do have a question. So when this is what we're going to be getting, each one of us to,
So what I anticipate what we'll do is if we approve this, we'll approve that this will be the criteria and the scoring system. We'll hand it off to the city staff then.
okay?
And they'll
And
start
they-
getting us the data.
Yep. They'll gather data and fill
So-
in these.
So then, what we'll do is the general park location denoted in the comprehensive plan? So then we'll, on each one, we'll say what we feel the priority is?
No, we'll get back what the city staff scores each of these. We'll get back their,
Yes,
Yeah.
commissioners,
They'll
what
They're
we'll-
gonna
gather
score.
the data.
you're simply
they'll pull
adopting
it
the
in for
matrix. And then, over the next 2 weeks, staff will populate the data. Staff will obtain the data and populate the spreadsheet, bring it to our next regular meeting on March 8th, which you'll receive that packet on Thursday prior to March 8th. And then, at that meeting, you can make any tweaks. For instance, the commissioner item under subjective,
right.
And you can review all of the information and data that staff put in, including safety. You might have a little different opinion than staff on the safety criteria item, but you won't have to do anything between now and receiving the packet for the March 8th meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions?
So there wasn't a motion yet, was there?
No, we have not received a motion yet.
So I move that we adopt this matrix and send it to city staff to score.
We have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I just want to say that I'm really proud of the commissioners and the work that was done, and Chris, thanks for everything.
Absolutely.
I'll second that. Any additional discussion or comments? We have a motion and we have a second to approve the neighborhood park establishment and development criteria as presented with no changes. All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion has carried. Excellent work, Commission. Very nice job. Very nice. Chris, a special thank you to you to putting in extra time and effort on that and
Thanks.
helping us lean in on your skills as well.
Yes.
We appreciate that. Next order of business, the date of our next meeting, as Director Schmitz just shared, is Monday, March 8th at 4 p.m. here in City Hall. I conclude the meeting and adjourn our meeting. Have a great night. Thank you.